Hey guys, so I'm going to do a demonstration today of the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Transforming Foundation and Concealer. I got the shade Ivory for the foundation and Light for the concealer. I'm always curious when companies put out new products, and even though I don't really need any new foundations and concealers, I really wanted to try these. I had seen some other review videos on YouTube and their experiences were not great, but those people had oily skin. I do not have oily skin. I used to have dry skin, but I've made a lot of changes in my diet in the last few months, and now I would say my skin is very normal. I'll be doing a video about that in the future, about losing weight and changing the way I eat. And, you know, I'll talk about that more in a future video. But yeah, my skin is very normal now. I wouldn't say it's oily or dry. It's, yeah, just very normal. So my experience with these products was different than the videos that I had seen other people do. And I was very happy with these products. I did not have any issues with them. So if you have been curious about these products and you have normal skin, then I would say, you know, give it a go, because you might be pleasantly surprised. But the videos that I saw where people had oily skin, the product like broke down and just didn't perform that well. So I've had these products for a few days now. I bought them, I think, right after I made my last video, and that was 5 days ago. So I've been using them every day since then, and I've been using them in a variety of ways. I've been using them just by themselves, and then I've also tried using a primer underneath the foundation because I wanted to see how they would perform, because these are supposed to be medium to full coverage, and just on its own I didn't feel as if the foundation was giving me that much coverage. So I tried putting a primer underneath it, and that really made a difference, and I got a lot more coverage that way. So you might want to keep that in mind as well. So I'm just going to start with my makeup, and sorry, my hair is wet because I just got out of the shower. But so I'm just going to get started with my makeup the way I normally would, and yeah, let's get going. First thing I always use is EOS lip balm just to moisturize my lips. Anytime you want to see what I'm wearing for products, if I don't discuss it in the video, it's always going to be in the description box. The next thing I use is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Spot Treatment Corrector. Is that name long enough or what? I just put this on dark spots on my face, and I put it on freckles, I put it on what could be sunspots, or I don't know. I put it on any dark spots that I see, regardless of what the origin of the dark spots is. So I just give it a few twists and then look for any dark spots. I even do this freckle on my neck here. And I have to say that this isn't a review of this product, but I have seen all my dark spots fade quite a bit since I've been using this. It does take a while though. I would say it takes a couple weeks before you see any difference. But yeah, everything has faded for my dark spots. Okay, those are the only ones that I see. I used to have more, but the lighter ones are pretty much gone, and the dark ones have definitely faded. So if you're interested in any kind of dark spot treatment and you don't want to spend a ton of money, because I know there are some very expensive products out there that you know, are supposed to be for that. This one works too, and it's really not expensive at all. So really happy that I tried that and have been using it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and this works really well with this foundation. I feel like it amps up the coverage quite a bit. So I'm just going to put some of that on. And this is just one of those clear silicone gel type primers. And I want to just give that a chance to sink in. So the next product I'm going to use is my Benefit Cosmetics Ooh La Lift. And this is a dark circle treatment, but I've talked at length about my dark circle issues, and they're not really dark circles, they're just indentations in my face. But this does lighten that area up a little bit, so I just dab a little bit of that on. And it makes a slight difference in that darkness there. Okay, so now that primer has had a chance to really sink into my skin, so we'll get started with the foundation. This foundation comes in a pump, which is always nice. I mean, you don't always get that with drugstore foundations. And I'm just gonna shake it up a little bit. I've experimented using a variety of different kinds of brushes, and the one that I liked the best for application is a Zoeva 102 Silk Finish brush. So I would say, since Zoeva is not readily available in the United States, I would say any kind of brush that has somewhat of a flat head on top, and the bristles are fairly soft on this. I tried some other things, and this ended up being the one that I liked the best. So I'm just going to put one pump on my hand to begin with. And then I just kind of, blend the brush into it. And I'm going to start on my forehead. The color match on this was surprisingly good. I do sometimes have issues with trying to find a foundation that matches me, because I'm a little on the pink side, I would say. But this was not bad. Blends in really well. Just going to take that down my nose. And I've been putting foundation all over my eye area, and just using that instead of any kind of eye primer or eyeshadow base. And I feel like my eyeshadows go on really well by doing it that way. Alright, let's put one more pump and then start working on the face. So yeah, you get much better coverage by using a primer underneath, and I feel like I need a lot of coverage because I have pigmentation issues, hyperpigmentation, I have acne scars, so I like a lot of coverage. I just go right up on my ears because I don't want my face to all have makeup and then my ears be white. I take it down my neck. And I blend it right down. So yeah, that ivory shade ended up being a nice match for me. Now, one thing I did notice about this when I was selecting a shade is that the shades all look really dark for the range. Darker than you would normally see. Like if you wear foundation, then you know you always go for either the lightest or a mid-range shade or the darkest, and these all seem like they were a little darker than they would normally be. So I went for the lightest one right off the bat because I could see that you know, they were darker. But normally the lightest shade in a foundation range would be too light for me. So that is something to keep in mind if you want to try this. Okay, next I'm going to put a little bit of the concealer on. And my thoughts on the concealer, and by the way, it says with acrylic oil free. It's ACTYLC. I have no idea what that is, but these products are all supposed to improve your skin in some way. I'm not positive in what way, but we'll see. I've been using it for about 4 days, I guess, 4 or 5 days. But what I was going to say is this concealer comes with a doe foot applicator. It's got a very unique texture to it. It's creamy, but it's thick. And the way it feels on your skin is like no other concealer I've ever tried. You would have to use it in order to understand what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this on. I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the foundation. And I feel like the color match on the concealer is really good for me too. So I just grabbed the lightest one that they had, which was light. I don't think they have a fair in this. There aren't a ton of color choices with this, but so I was kind of lucky that the ones that I picked matched me as well as they did. I felt like the price point of these products were very reasonable. You know, I can't quote you the exact price. I don't really remember now. But yeah, they weren't like super expensive or anything, because I've noticed that a lot of the drugstore products, the newer ones that are coming out, the prices seem to just keep going up and up on some things, but these weren't bad. So that's the concealer, and you know, for me with my severe dark circle or indentation issues, I do see a difference. I mean, you can still see the indentations, but it's much better than it was. Okay, then now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna finish my makeup off camera so that this video isn't like an hour long, and I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on this, and then you can see the completed look. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I finished my makeup, and like I said before, any products that I'm wearing will be listed in the description box. And so yeah, I'm very happy with this foundation and concealer, and will probably intersperse it with my NARS foundation. I mean, what I mean by that is I'll use the NARS foundation one day and this the next day, and I want to be able to use both. I also have some other foundations that I should be using instead of just having them sit in a drawer. I'm going to try to figure out a way to use more of what I own for makeup, because I feel like I'm always just using whatever the newest stuff is that I bought, but I want to be able to use all of it really and not waste things. I do go through my makeup periodically and throw out the stuff that's really old, and because I don't really feel comfortable using super old makeup. But yeah, I want to try to utilize as much of the stuff that I have as possible. And on that note, I will have a haul and mini review video coming up for you shortly. I did buy some other things in addition to this foundation and concealer that I wanted to show you, but I wanted to do a separate video about this just because I have seen a lot of negative reviews on these products on YouTube, and I don't feel like they necessarily deserve that, because I think it really depends on your skin type. If you have oily skin, obviously those people had issues with this, but anyone who doesn't have oily skin, I think you would really like this. Now, my skin isn't as dry as it used to be, like I said, so I don't know how these would perform on really dry skin. However, I think if you used a primer, I think it would be fine, because then any dry patches that you have on your skin would be covered with primer, so the foundation should go on over the primer just fine. So yeah, the next video I do will most likely be showing you the other things that I purchased while I was on my little hiatus, and I'll just do little mini reviews in that to let you know what I think of the products that I've used so far. So that is it for today, you guys, and if you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comment section and I would be happy to answer them, and I'll see you next time. Bye!